What's going on, guys? So I got a question on Instagram and they asked, how do I juggle between jiu-jitsu, full-time job, family time, free time, and stretching / fitness? So let's get into it. So if you guys don't know, I am a physical therapist full-time, and then I co-host a podcast with my coach Chewy. We co-host the Jiu-Jitsu podcast. And then, I've got a wife, 2 kids, and I train jiu-jitsu. So, it's a lot of stuff to kind of balance in and work into a week, to manage all those things, family time and fitness and things like that. And so I don't have it dialed in perfectly. I don't think anybody really does. But like, I found some things throughout the years. I've been training about 14 years jiu-jitsu. So I've kind of figured out some things that work for me and kind of how I've been able to kind of manage all these elements together in my week. So let me give you kind of my 5 basic ideas or tips that I use to get all that to mesh and flow together. So the first thing I do is I plan my week. I kind of figure out what I have going on that week and when I want to do it or how many times I want to do it, right? So if it's jiu-jitsu, I know I like to train 2-3 times a week based on my schedule, what fits in the best. So I kind of figure out if there's any extraneous extra stuff in that week that's going on that might take up some of my time, and then I kind of go from there. So I kind of plan out my week. So part 2 is we're gonna get to scheduling. So like, I know that when I usually train Tuesday nights, Friday mornings, and Saturdays. So I try to say, all right, let me schedule, these are like the main things I wanna do. So if it's jiu-jitsu or other stuff, like those are like my priority list. So I'm gonna put jiu-jitsu as kind of my priority. That's what we're talking about. So it'll be like Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So I do that next. And I kind of try to schedule it into my week. Now, when you're planning and scheduling, you can do it a week ahead of time, or you can do it a month ahead of time, whatever works for you. You can have like a rough schedule, for a month, and then kind of it'll be flowing or adjusting, or you can, schedule for the week ahead. So I usually do like on a Sunday, I'll try to plan the week ahead for what I got going on. So here's the next thing. This is pretty important. Your significant other, your partner, whoever you have at home, wife, husband, you have to communicate with them. Like, you guys have to come up with the schedule, make sure it works for both of you. They may have things going on. So you have to ensure that your schedule is gonna be congruent with what they've got going on. You have childcare covered, this and this kind of stuff. So, I mean, when you have kids like that are dependent on you, you have to obviously, like, they take priority. However, you have to try to, balance that in. Like one night a week, my son comes with me to jiu-jitsu. He trains jiu-jitsu. We both do a 6 o'clock class. My class runs a lot longer, so he trains jiu-jitsu. And then afterwards, like, although I don't want him to play video games a bunch, but I feel like, so I can get some more training in, he hangs out, plays some video games on his Nintendo, and like, he's happy because he gets to train jiu-jitsu, and then he does his little video games, and I get to get some training in, spend some time with my kid as well, because we kind of drive together and we hang out on the drive to the gym. So try to kind of work that in. But again, scheduling it all together is really important. Talking with your partner, your significant other, and trying to make sure it's congruent and they're on board and you guys have kind of the same flow for your week. So number 4 is like, manage your expectations. If you have some crazy stuff going on, an extra busy week with other things you didn't plan for, trying to manage those expectations by looking at the week ahead, planning it out. You'll figure out like, oh man, I've got extra appointments or this or that going on, or other things that weren't planned for. So you can manage your expectations, and that way you're gonna kind of know what to expect for the week. And for me, that's helped a lot, because I could get like irritable or kind of pissy, I guess. If like, I'm like, oh, I expected to train this many times a week, and then all of a sudden something came up, or like I didn't account for it, and then I'm not able to train as much, or that type of thing. So I think for me, I try to like look at the week ahead and try like manage expectations and be like, all right, is there any extra times I can get some training in, or is there any way I can adjust my schedule? But if I know that I have a busy week, I can only maybe train twice a week, which sometimes is the case. So I'll just try to do that, manage my expectations, so I know kind of what to expect for the week. Kind of helps me not be as grumpy, if I don't get as much training in. So number 5 is supplementing your strength and conditioning, or how do you work in strength conditioning into your mix? Now, if I can't make it in to jiu-jitsu, maybe if I can only make it twice a week, so I'm definitely gonna incorporate another day of strength conditioning, whether that be some type of cardiovascular exercise. For me, what I feel like helps me is running. I know a lot of jiu-jitsu people have messed up knees and ankles and hips and things like that, and their running mechanics may be poor, so running may not be the best thing for you. Stationary bike, Airdyne, other type of exercise. But I really feel like for me to help my cardio or have a good steady state cardio like built up, I like to do running on the treadmill. So I'll try to work that in extra throughout the week if I can't get to training. And my strength conditioning is on opposite days. I'm almost 40, so I don't really do like jiu-jitsu and tough lifting in the same day. It's just hard for my body to recover, so I have to do every other day for that. And I try to get about 3 days a week of strength conditioning. So one day I have kind of active recovery, just a recovery day where I'm not doing a bunch of anything. But usually, 3 days a week of jiu-jitsu, if I can make it, 3 days a week of strength training, and I build that up and I kind of break that up into like about 45 minutes to an hour. And I'll build certain things into my program that way that can kind of supplement my jiu-jitsu. But everything's kind of geared towards keeping my body healthy and keeping me feeling pretty decent on the mat. So as far as jiu-jitsu goes, so the strength conditioning, I do squats, deadlifts, things like that, but I try to work them in a way that's gonna not break my body down throughout the week, and I still feel pretty good and refreshed throughout the week. So that's it, guys. So I know everybody's got crazy schedules. I hope this helps, but a lot of those things like the planning and scheduling things out is really helpful. It's been really helpful for me in making sure that my I'm getting along with my wife. We're on the same page, and I get enough time with the kids and things like that. So guys, hopefully it was helpful for you all. If you have any questions, shoot me a comment down below, send them there, email me. Talk to you guys next time.